Hello everyone, welcome back to Farming Sim 22. We have just taken a bunch of milk to the dairy to be turned into cheese? Butter? Is this all like mess or is this just graphically like buggy? I hope that's just like a graphical thing and not a waste. I don't know how that would have happened otherwise. Honestly, it's been a few days. I've already forgotten. Yeah, we're making cheese, so we're just going for pure profit because again, we're so far away from like having sugar that we don't really need to, like, I think we can start going in this direction, like give it some eggs, kind of fill these up. But yeah, there's no hurry to make butter at this point. Guess we'll just leave that there because that's kind of where we will need it. And it's May. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. So let's look at what we want to do in May, because I don't quite remember what we were... Yeah, I think we're just waiting on harvest season. Animals are fine. And missions, there's no harvesting missions, so we don't really need to do those. I had this feeling I have yellow legal pad like literally on my desk. I use it constantly for like my job and side projects and things. I need to start just writing like a note after I'm done with an episode that just says like what we were planning to do, because I have this like inkling that we were going to do one last thing in May and I cannot think of what it would be. So we're just gonna move on with our life. Yeah, I'll start writing me a note. It would be nice. And I feel like people have thought this since like the late 80s and 90s. Well, probably not that early. Because in the late 80s and 90s, we had video game manuals. What are we doing? We gotta harvest, right? While I jabber on about who knows what, let's see if we're harvesting. No. Yeah. There it is. And then for some reason it looks like... Okay, so here's where we might be spending a lot of money on a lease, because it looks like we're going to lease a harvester for 3 months, because we're going to have this month. Next month this will be harvestable, and then it looks like this still needs another month yet. Or we can risk it and wait one more month and do these two in July. I don't think this will wither until August, but we also just need it for these chickens because they're probably almost out now. Yeah, we can't really wait another month. How much is it to buy? Like, do we just bite the bullet and just take out a loan and just finally buy a harvester? Which would honestly it would feel better. They are so expensive. I would probably buy like one of these. And then, because if you lease it, it's like, we don't even have the money to lease it, but it's a lot. But they're going to have more power and holding capacity, and the big one is that their pipe will be longer, so then you can actually buy like a pretty long header. And you can actually spend money on like a big header without having the pipe like get in the way, or like the trailer get in the way when the pipe is too short. Let's just see how much money we can take out. I'm kind of okay, just like, but we don't really have a lot of, I think you can only do 500. Oh, 515 for some reason. So even then we can't even buy, unless there's a good sale. No. Well, okay, let's lease one more time. Well, hopefully one more time. We'll just do this cheap one. This will actually, not actually, this will also let us test drive it. We won't do GPS because that would be a waste because you're just GPSing a leased vehicle. But when we buy one, this would be really nice to have for harvesting. So this will let us test drive this, kind of see what the pipe is. So it's going to be expensive. I'm still a little, it says base cost is the big one, and then per workday is 26, and then per work hour. I don't really get this part. But we'll spend another like probably 5 or 6 grand just having it for 3 months. But I mean, we gotta have it. And then you don't have to worry about these combinations. You can, I think you can just buy any header. That's what I've always done. So we don't want to go too pricey, but we don't want to go too narrow. So like this here, 12 meters, that's pretty slow. Are they all 6? I thought some were faster. Yeah, sunflowers are faster, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So where was that 12? And then it's just a branding option. This is when sometimes I feel like there's maybe too many options, because like for me, I don't pay attention to like actual real life machinery. So it's like, what's the difference between this and this? Or I should say like this and this. Because statistically there are none. Anyway, let's lease. So we have to unfold it. I want to see what the pipe out is compared to... well, also, before we forget, we should repay that or else we're going to have that loan interest fee. And we'll test this out. Yeah. So even at 12 feet, we're still got some room to drive a trailer. It's a little tight, but that should be fine. This is where it gets tricky. I probably should have got a header trailer. I'm hoping we can do this without. I don't know if we'll get this over to the canola without a header trailer because of those line of trees, but we can figure that out in July. Okay, this is exciting. It's not just felt, it has been so long since we've like harvested. It is, I've said it before, it's the weirdest part of 22 is this feeling that, not this feeling, like just the fact that you can only, wait, was there like screen tear? I don't think you can change graphical options. I wanted to see if my VSync was on. Oh. How much straw? We have so much straw. Do we need to worry about straw? No, I'm not going to worry about it. We should have at least enough for 1 more year, if not 2. Like, yes, you could make money off of it, but it's so it's such a small amount that, I don't know, it's like potatoes compared to us just doing anything else besides picking up straw. So for time, we're just gonna not do it today. Okay, we'll get our header rows and kind of set this up. Probably hire a worker for most of it, though. Yeah, I think we can get the header in right there where that path is, or this. Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay. So earlier, I guess we can go back to that. So in the 90s we had actual like video game manuals that came with games. I don't know when they stopped doing that, but I think I think the latest game I bought physically was Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is phenomenal. I've talked about it already. It's still, I'm 30 hours in, over 30 hours in, and I still just love the combat. Every time I get to a story like quest marker, I get so excited to like see what's going to happen, because every cutscene is like interesting and developmental. Like it all is adding to the plot or the world. It doesn't just seem like filler fluff for the sake of like content. I don't know. It's awesome. But anyway, bought the physical copy. There's no manual. Like you don't get that nice like, 15, 20, 15-ish page little booklet that I would always read on the way home, because basically we lived an hour from like the biggest city, which is where we would like basically where I would get games if I needed them or wanted them. And so I remember so many times getting a new game in the city, and then you have that hour drive home, which when you're 7, like that feels like an entire day. And just all I had was like the manual, right? And so for the entire hour, you're just like absorbed into looking at the photos. You're just reading anything you can about the game. Like kids don't have that now. I guess mostly you just buy online anyway, but if you do buy physical, like, is it that much more expensive to just put in a little manual, just some lore, some mechanics descriptions, some artwork. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that like nothing, not even like a little page, not even any advertisement. Sometimes it'd come with like leaflets of advertising, nothing, just literally the cartridge and the case, and I guess the cover, which you can like what do you call it, like turn inside out, but whatever, I don't care about that. Anyway, those manuals, man, I am okay. Those manuals always had notes sections in the back, and it would literally there would always be 1 or 2 pages that just said notes, and then it just had blank lines. I don't know if anyone ever used those. I think people did. I did not. Can you tell I lost my train of thought like about 15 minutes ago? What I'm saying is now in the digital age, here in the year 2022, especially on a PC, like all PC games should just have, as part of like the basic menu, I guess this one's tough because Farming Sim doesn't have a basic menu, but like most games when you pull up like escape, it'll be like continue, save, load, quit. All of those should just have another option these days that says notes. Very simple. Click it, and it doesn't even have to be organized, just a blank, basically notepad file-esque application that just saves your notes without having to like, yes, I could open up a notepad on my desktop and it would be very simple and lightweight. But then you'd have to do that for like every game. I just want every game to have its own little, right here, it would just have like a little notebook, and I'd hit notes. And then I'd just type in, next time I need to da-da-da-da. I did that a lot on Factorio through the map, because when you open up the map in Factorio, you can like click and like add custom, like not even notes. They're not supposed to be notes, but you can like add custom like markers and things. And I would use those to like write little notes to myself for like the task at hand. Because sometimes you'd have like one task, but you'd have to break it down into like, it's very much like programming where it's like, oh, I need to do this, but to do that, I should actually do it in like 12 smaller steps, or else it feels like an enormous, like too big of an ask. Okay, let's finally feed our chickens. And then I want to check how much is 100%. 9,000, so we probably want to keep at least 10,000 on hand, like in our trailer. Because that 9,000 should last half a year, and then we'd need another 9 for the second half of the year. Plus we should probably have a little wiggle room in case we want to plant something else. Like I think we might switch to sorghum, just for versatility's sake. And we do have, I'm making a note to myself now, we do have another trailer that I accidentally bought, so we don't have to worry about keeping this empty. And a long time ago I did shut off the crop destruction, so most of you probably have it on. I think it's on by default, and most people I think like it. But then you can't do something like this. You'd have to wait till it turns around, and I didn't want to do that. Plus I just always found myself driving through crops, so that is why my crops are not being destroyed currently. Well, I think I'm blocking. I must be blocking it. Yeah, that's what I mean by making sure you get a pipe that isn't too short compared to a header. And this one's actually pretty good. Little tighter than ideal, but I've definitely worked with worse. Also, pro tip for anyone who doesn't know, if you lower your cruise control, so I'm hitting the 1 key, when you get to 6, there's 2 6s, which is inane. Like I've talked about this before, it's really silly. But yeah, so there's 5. If I hit 2, it goes to 6, and if I hit 2, it stays at 6. One of those 6s is harvesting speed, and one of those 6s is slightly different. So let's figure it out. So here's 5. So 5 is going to be too slow. Now if I go to 6, I think it's perfect, and if I go to 6 one more time, then it's slightly too fast. So if I go to 6, if I hit 1 and go down to 6 again, now I'm at perfect harvesting speed. So it's really nice. I don't know why 6 can't just be harvesting speed, but there must be some maybe like legacy implementation of speed that they had to deal with. I don't know, but yeah, so if you ever want perfect harvesting speed, it looks like the lower 6 is it, and the higher 6 is slightly, you can see, slightly faster. So fun, very, very fun facts. Get out of the way for the harvester. Anything we want to do while that is finishing? Wool's fine, eggs are fine, animals are fine. It's actually very peaceful at the moment. We can do a quick wash. I'll do a quick wash, and then I'll get that other trailer and kind of get it set up for July. We'd also look at missions, just baling still. Some of that might not be dirt. Some of it might be like, not some damage, but like wear and tear. So some of it may just need repainted, but nope, it looks like most of it is dirt. So that is going to be a lot more fun to drive. We'll have to do the same for our blue one, I think. Yeah, it's not as bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, here, we'll just do that. We'll swap them out, give our blue one a quick wash. Harvester's got about one more pass, maybe not. Maybe that is the last one. Nice. That looks a lot better. I know there's some other machines that need it, like the mower I think is always kind of a mess. But for today, that's probably good for car washing. And again, we're not actually going to use this. We're just kind of getting it over to the canola fields. All right. Let's make sure you do have to turn it on, I think, to empty it, which is why it stopped. And we're good. Perfect. I was kind of talking about sugarcane at one point. I kind of forgot sugarcane needs like all new equipment. It needs like its own planter, I believe, and its own harvester. So it is a pretty expensive industry to get into. Yeah, my screen keeps like flickering. I don't know if that's going to make the video or if it's just going to be on my end, but it's very strange. Okay, let's go top off the chickens if they need it. Then we can go make flour, though that will probably be next time, where we can take this up to the mill. Shouldn't be much. Yep. So next time we can probably put about 10,000 in the mill, which will give us oh, that math. Come on. 150 to 113. Oh. That makes my brain hurt. 150, so if we do well, you can think of it if we do 15,000, we would get 11,300. If we do 1,500, we'll get 1130. So if we do 3,000, So let's say we do 4 times, that'd be 6,000. That'd give us about 45.20 flour. 45, which would give us about 52 total because we already have 700. So that'd be good if we give it 6,000. I'm going to forget these now. Actually, let me write it down. So if we give it 6,000 flour. Is that what I said? 1536,000, we'll get about, yeah. 6K flour. And then we should get about 5K, or no, 6K grain should get us over that 5,000 mark, if once this is included. So we should get 5 pallets then, and there'll be like a couple hundred left, but whatever, it's never going to be perfect. And then we can take those 5 pallets and probably just put them into cake. Not even worry about bread, just load it up. But that is for next time. For this time, we are going to leave it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment below if you wish. And of course, have yourselves a very nice day.